Why is it always some old black and white boy telling us young fellas that we ain't relevant in a world that embellishes like a relative content from these elements? You call them stars, I call them settlements, cause they didn't settle for settlements built on a steady sediment. Ashes from the already crashed and burned, dust from past residents. So I can feel it in my bones, I'm feeling in the zone. More when I'm on the way, but the same when I'm feeling home. So I'm comfortable, I know you are too. Me and Powers R1D2, Star Wars Harvest Moon feast food. But please don't come peaceful, but kill that noise if it's at all equal. I tell you what, man, let's make it equal. So I can show you the math, but I don't do sequels. Instead, I'ma use physics to determine how we move. Use ethics to perspective our objective. Because our efforts to fulfill our destinies, the universe expected. So we gotta fight back, take the night back, take our lives back. Our efforts must be twice that of our enemies.
That's our new theme song. Just like that, it's handful of beats. Boom.
All that. How y'all doing?
What's happening, y'all? SKTV, we back.
We back.
Live in action.
Live in action.
And then there was two, once again. Huh?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Where's the camera? I keep forgetting where this camera's at.
Yo, shout out to all the SKTV TV members, all the Junkyard Gang TV members.
Everybody out there.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the
Keep I got a new channel coming up. You know what's crazy, man? Real quick, I want to touch on a new channel. I'm sorry, I'm just cutting you off. Just hopping right into this. Just because it's been on my mind.
Yeah.
I might not keep the same channel name that I done built all the logos and shit for and started the Instagram for. So I put in a lot of hours doing that, mind you, as an unprofessional. So it was required. Just stumbling through the hurdles. But yeah, so I might be changing the outdoor channels. I might actually just stick with Fat Boy Chefing. So that's my original YouTube channel with nothing on it. But
Fat Boy Chefing, Great Outdoors.
So I don't know. But we'll see. No, just keep it Fat Boy Chefing. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna keep DAB outdoors, Dab outdoors. So although just the Dab will do you. All right. So yeah. Sorry, I had to just get it off my chest. And
yeah, not a problem.
I said it now. I can process to the next step. So how you doing, brother? What's going on? What's happening this week with you? You living good? You eating good? You making money?
Living good, eating good, making money, making the man money, how that goes.
Yeah, buddy. That's the formula these days. I see you back in the office. You back in the office, bro?
I'm getting ready to go back.
I seen you all in there looking at the box. The box looked scared. The box had a mask on like, oh no.
I had to go check my station out, you know what I'm saying? May 2nd, we'll be back in that joint. I'll be in there, week in, week out. So 2 weeks in a month, I'm in the office. I know big, I ain't really sure.
2 weeks a month?
2 weeks in a month, I'm in the office. I mean, I know you at home full time.
Yeah, buddy, that's brutal.
Nah.
Actually, I got some shit I got to do at work here coming up, and I'm thinking the easiest, best way to do it if I go into the office. So I actually might go sit in the office for a couple weeks just to make it easier on myself. I don't have the equipment. They didn't send me home with no big ass printer, no fax machines, man. So, a little cheap of them, I might say, but
boss, and he was like, if it wasn't for, everything that's going on, he was like, you can stay working from home as far as I'm concerned. And, he has to make a total commute there and back. His commute time like 2 hours.
Oh, he tripped.
Yeah.
But he be also getting paid.
Well, he don't want to go back to the office neither.
I mean, but either way, 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours is crazy.
Previous to the pandemic, is he crazy? 2 hours? Man.
It's an hour a day.
That money got to be good, right? Or he's so good with the bread, it ain't even about that. He's dedicated to the work. He's dedicated. This is my passion.
Yeah.
Working for the Wells. I suppose there's got to be people like that out there, right? Like you. That's your passion.
It's not my passion.
No, it's your passion.
No, it's not.
That's your passion, bro. How long you been there?
A life.
It's his passion.
I'm there because the benefits, they take care of the kids and everything, family and all that. They pay me quite well. So I'm not going to complain.
Right.
The work politics, I don't engage in that tomfoolery. How that goes.
It's tough, man.
It's definitely tough when they try to reel you in and bait you in there.
The benefits of working from home,
Hey.
you can just ignore the messages. I don't care what Brenda said. I don't care. So
everything been good with you?
Man, I've been busy as hell these last couple of weeks. I ain't even gonna lie, my schedule been all messed up. Not to mention you get me right last episode. We did, man, and because I ain't had no damn car. My caliper locking up on the Escape. My dear Escape, man, I put almost 100,000 on that car. Did everything with it. And I just had to make a decision. You know, do I want to pay however much more money to get that and the brakes done and all that, or just pull the trigger and get a new whip? So sure enough, I just didn't drive it for a couple of weeks until I could figure out what I was going to buy, and settled on. I found a Ford Explorer to buy, and I took that bad boy in there and didn't tell them about the caliper, of course, and it rode just fine all the way there. That was great. You know, I never even that car treated me well. Only had one major repair on it before, so. Other than that, I mean, you know, tires and oil changes, all I put in that car for like 5 or 6 years, man.
So they give you a decent amount on the trade-in value?
Well, they gave me $2,500 for it.
There you go.
I think I probably could have squozed a little bit more, but I was just happy to get rid of it under its circumstances. The roof also leaked. Actually, when I went to go take it in, I was cleaning it out, and that we had a bunch of storms, and I started vacuuming out the driver's side seat, and it's just a bunch of water, man. It had been leaking. Oh man, I just let it dry. I just left the windows down and left it all day. Just left it like that. You know, that's on them, you know. So, I mean, you know, good riddance. It was going to be quite a headache to keep up any maintenance on it past this point. So, but that definitely put a damper in the plans. Trying to move around, get things done, get outside.
Yeah.
That's been real tough.
But now you're in a newer, safer, bigger vehicle for you and your camping equipment and all.
Oh, bro. Stuff, I think I can lay down in this one.
Oh, yeah?
I think I can lay down in this. Oh yeah, it's third row. Yeah, it's a 7-seater. Yeah, man.
Nice.
I don't know what 7 people gonna be in it, but man, that ride will be fun. All right, whatever it is, or an emergency.
What color?
Sorry about my live phone there. It's like a dark blue. You know, so I got the pants on. It's similar but darker. I'm crisped up.
So like this.
Exactly. With the like the little black shiny, you know, layer in there somewhere as well. However they want it. I'm sure there's a car guy way to say it. So, but yeah, treat me well, man. So far, you know, 2 days in, no complaints. But you know, I'm all warranted up through the 9s and all that shit. So I mean,
I do it.
I just don't nobody break my windows. I'm solid. You know, I'm good to go. So
congrats on the whip.
Appreciate it, brother.
Seriously.
Shit. Other than that, man, you know, I got outside for the first time in 2 weeks. My wife kept telling me I should take her Hyundai Elantra, and you know, real awesome, sweet gesture of her. But I just kept thinking about my big ass with all my equipment and shit in and out of this little car, and then getting into it all dirty and stinking like fire and shit. You know, like she ain't gonna like that. She's gonna regret that decision the first night I brought it back home. You know? So
like, nah, it's not. This ain't it. This ain't it, Dave. You don't want to do
right.
You don't want this.
So that was nice.
Okay. Well, it's the thought that counts.
Right. Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Right.
She was willing to risk.
It's a good woman.
Her car.
That's why I love her.
You know.
That's why I love her. Right.
Keep her for sure.
But other than that, man, you know, just same thing, working, making money, trying to mind my business.
Got nice, so that's actually a good thing. Cause it's been kind of cool a little bit.
Yeah, right. It's gonna get real nasty this weekend. I was supposed to go camping this weekend up at Jester, but it's supposed to rain. So
when you prepare for that?
Some people backed out.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Generally speaking, if I know it's gonna rain for sure, I don't go camping.
Oh, you don't?
Nah. If there's gonna be a chance, or if I know maybe it's just like, you know, typical summer showers type shit.
Camp in the fucking snow.
Oh yeah, that's not soaking rain though. That's way different. Way different. And I got this damn Coleman tent. I got like a nice real tent, right?
Oh yeah.
But it's like a 2-person lay down in tent. It's not like a big impress nobody with this motherfucking tent, right? It's a real camping tent. But I also got an 8-man Coleman pop up. That's real nice. It's fancy. I put all my shit up in there. Got to put a carpet, I put some lights, put the queen size blow up.
Is that what I saw on the?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah.
That motherfucker leaks though. That motherfucker leaks. All right, Coleman's quality is gone down.
Yo, that's like the Ritz Carlton of tents.
Right. Except when it rains. So if I know it's gonna rain.
Yo.
So shit.
Okay, I dig that.
I might go out there myself. I'm gonna take my real tent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get real fancy with the tarps and whatnot.
Okay.
You know, I actually I've been getting real good with trying to, you know, using tarps and covering myself up and staying out of the rain actually. So I think I'm gonna go face it. But
buy
you
a
know,
fucking poncho and call it a day.
No, man, I gotta be able to chill in my chair, maybe get a small fire going, get some tunes going, and stay dry at the same time. You know?
Okay, I got you.
So
I got you.
we'll see. I'll make something happen.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Okay.
That's me for the week. I'm wearing my new t-shirt too. So it's a new pocket tee.
Okay.
That I put lighters and batteries in. That's basically it. That's all it's good for. So.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. It's better than putting a pocket protector in there. Shout out to Revenge of the Nerds.
Right. No. We can talk about Revenge of the Nerds real quick. That was a terrible movie, man.
You didn't like it?
Man, listen. It is terrible. You remember there's a scene where the dude puts a mask on in the fun house and tricks the girl into thinking that her boyfriend had sex with her? That's rape, bro. I don't care how it goes. That's goddamn rape. And that was celebrated as some sort of glorious sin in that movie for decades until people were like, you know what? In retrospect, that actually is terrible. So.
All right, number one, it's a movie. All right, that's the reason why.
Well,
it's a movie. And that's
movie.
why. But for number one, I'm not condoning rape. That actually,
clarify that on Squadcast.
Is considered rape.
All right, yeah.
Impersonated somebody else to get the.
So that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You know, we gotta get too deep with it.
We're not gonna act like that those people that they were classified as
shout out to
nerds.
That's all I'm saying.
Wasn't violated either. I mean, violated to where they could call the police, especially all the social justice shit that's going on today.
That's what brought it up. I believe the hashtag #MeToo is what brought that shit back to the light. Oh no, these movies are problematic, and that was on the list.
I think Revenge of the Nerds is funny for what it is. Booger, Ogre, Wormser, you know what I'm saying? I hate that they always gotta make the brother super flamboyant, when he's batting for the other team and all that. I don't appreciate that. But I mean, from a comedic standpoint, I think it's funny.
You're gonna make me rewatch it just to be more critical of the film, okay?
Hey, Revenge of the Nerds 1, 2, and
3.
Hey, this was back when sequels was the shit.
Oh right, I mean that's all they had. That's all they had back then.
Well, one of them went on to play a doctor on ER. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I guess.
Major. I mean,
I wouldn't say Revenge of the Nerds was his platform, but was his jumping up one. I don't know. I forget who that guy is.
I don't know the brother. I mean, not a brother, but I don't know the man's name. But
terrible.
I can't believe you just hated on Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, man, fuck them.
Ah, man, that's crazy.
I don't think brothers talk about Revenge of the Nerds, to be quite honest. This is a unique experience for anyone watching this.
Trust me, they talk about
you don't get to see this type of thing discussed very often in the community. So there you go. You just had it.
Speaking of nerds, Old Elon,
biggest nerd in the world,
biggest nerd in the world.
This fool one time once said that now that he's a billionaire, he wants to. When he was a kid, like he wanted to be a wizard essentially, and now that he's a billionaire, he wants to use his money to be as a wizard-like as possible.
Yeah, well, he also wants to colonize Mars and do a whole bunch of other stuff.
He's also shot cars into space. The point is, the guy's problematic. All right, he's not thinking forward. All right, he's just thinking about himself.
Okay? Is the more wealth, the more madness comes? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, I mean, essentially, that kind of power, unchecked.
Or is he just thinking out the box too much, thinking outside the box too much?
No, there's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box as long as you ain't hurt nobody. But, arguably, he's hurting somebody.
Well, them damn cars, when they go to the self-auto drive, some of them be having issues. I've seen recalls on those. Shout out Tesla, though. I like the stock.
That's the problem. That's the problem with the culture. That's the problem with the culture. Yeah, the stocks are good no matter how bad the company is, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I just talked about one aspect of the company because Tesla is more just a car company.
That is the company. It is the stock. In fact, obviously we're talking about the fact that Elon bought Twitter.
Well, he hasn't bought it yet.
Well, he's got
he put a bid out there for $44 million.
He's just got to get some paperwork wrapped up.
I just read something earlier today before you came.
It's going to take like 6 months, whatever.
Well, but that's even if he even goes through it, because I read something before where he was supposed to acquire a company, backed out the last minute. He was supposed to be on the board of directors for Twitter, backed out the last minute. So, and then they were talking about
but as of today, he's bought Twitter is the point. Well, that's what we're talking about. We're not saying that. Sure, whether or not we could speculate if it's going to go through with it, because it isn't something that you just walk in and here's your money and you walk out. Now,
because I'm pretty sure he's going to sell off some of his stocks of his Tesla to cover that. You know how it goes. Sure. But that is major though, because he's talking about buying Twitter, or he's bought Twitter. And he wants to make it private now,
and that's the lesson he learned in Tesla, is because he is beholden to shareholders, and when you're beholden to shareholders, you're only fucking interested in making as much money as possible, not necessarily doing the right thing.
Right.
So that's why it might be kind of dangerous that he's going to take this private, mostly because he'll have complete control. And who knows, if we think he's bad enough and his ideal of how his lack of control with Tesla is bad for him, who knows how he might express himself under the helm of Twitter. But that being said, are we, in theory,
but there's a lot of people that support this.
you know, in theory, he's done this for the sake of freedom of speech. That's what he's done. It's made Twitter. He's bought it so that he can remove some of the weird constraints and controls and lack of equal applying of rules.
45 back on there, so he can go crazy and stir up.
Potentially, sure. Who knows? You know, obviously Trump probably would join back on Twitter as soon as they took the restrictions off. Right. But either way, I mean that's the you know, the idea of him buying Twitter. So he wants to make it you know, more free of speech. You know, I don't know if that's good or bad. You know, that could be good. Freedom of speech is great. You know, but at the same time, a lot of people have crazy ideas. Not everybody needs to be heard. And there's this weird thing in society where everyone feels they need to be heard. You know, give people a cell phone and a YouTube channel.
I mean,
you know, here we are. I'm not trying to put myself down. I'm just saying.
Well, anything could be considered a platform nowadays with the
for sure.
Internet. Yeah. You know, like you said, with the power of a cell phone, you can make IG your platform, Snapchat your platform, YouTube, Facebook, or Meta, whatever it's called now. There's Clubhouse. There's a lot of different things where you can just use those for your quote unquote freedom of speech. And I don't have a problem with freedom of speech until that freedom of speech starts to affect people in a negative way.
Well, I mean, that's so goddamn vague. What is that even supposed to mean?
Well, what I'm saying
is that supposed to mean? What if I say I hate people who have white letters on their shirts?
But what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with freedom of speech, but then you do have those who like to take it too far and start to bash certain communities.
And all I'm asking is, what's too far?
Oh, you don't know what too far is?
I don't. I'm not gonna assume. I mean, I know what offends me, right? I know what the shit that people say that pisses me off.
Right.
You know, make me want to be
what's the offensive you might not be offended.
But I also realize that a lot of those things are ridiculous standards that I have. And it wouldn't be fair to just say, well, this is clearly going to apply to everyone else in every other situation.
No, that's why I said certain communities.
Here's the rule. Now, who's the communities and who's setting that rule? You see?
They could be
you see, brother, you can't do
things about the LGBTQ community. They could be saying negative things about the black community.
You know, but who's going to decide it's negative?
All the people who
maybe there are very clear statements, right? That are you can say I hate this.
Comprehend the message, bro. If it's as clear as day talking about get these porch monkeys, and I mean we know they're talking about black people, bro.
Right, now we know,
We're not going to get into these.
Yeah, we have to get into the details. Because when it comes to speech, it is about semantics. Because in this case, I can understand if someone is clearly saying, I hate this particular group of people and I want to hurt them, right? And I can understand we need to confront this person, you know, make sure maybe even his ideas. I'm not saying hurt. Let me finish. We need to do so. We need to set some rules. We need to maybe even remove this person from this particular platform because he's really suggesting really bad. And clearly he's saying, I want to hurt people. He's suggesting, let's go out and hurt these people. That's very clear, but we know what those statements are,
right?
What
I'm talking about.
But some people say stuff like, you know, I really don't like what those people are doing over there. And some people's interpretation of that is they hate me and they want me to die. So therefore, we're not doing that. We're not. No,
because
you couldn't. I could prove you.
That's a small percentage.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, brother.
You're gonna imply, and you're gonna imply 9 times out of 10 censorship is correct.
People that would read something like that, you mean to tell me that 8 out of 10 would come up with that perspective?
But that's not the point. That's not the point. It's about who makes the rules. So if you have the no, because if you have the
free speech,
because sure, maybe 10 normal people, 10 people who have no power, past their own personal ability to just say something about what you're doing, see that, and just that they leave it as it is. They can't do anything about it. But let's say there's one person who has all the power in the world, and they hate what you're saying. They have a terrible reaction to what you're, an ignorant, dare I say, reaction to what you're saying. And because they can remove you from the scene They do.
No, you giving two different scenarios.
No, not at all. That's a single. I'm talking about one scenario right there.
No, we're not.
No. There's a difference. That's why it comes down to power. And when we say who's gonna make the rules, we know, me and you, bro, we don't make the rules.
Yeah, we know that.
But we know we can decipher the difference between I hate you and I don't like you, right?
But,
right. Can I answer that question? Me and you know the difference between I hate you and I don't like you, right?
All I'm saying is when you have freedom of speech, I don't have a problem with that. But when your freedom of speech is leading towards potential violence towards a certain community, that's a problem.
Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about. But there's clear language that says, I want to hurt, let's hurt. Right? But there's also language that is just, I don't like. And people still hear, I want to hurt, don't hurt. And that's exactly how the message goes.
I'm not saying that some people don't. I'm not saying there's not as a lot of people as you think. That's all I'm saying.
It's not about how many, though. You're missing my point.
No,
it's not because we know that overall, we know this. Even if it's just 51%, at least most of us, the majority of us, are rational and generally, day-to-day interactions. Most of us know simple, basic right from wrong.
We hope.
But we also know 1% of us are in fucking power.
That's a fact.
So if you think that's 1% is on the 51% side, you're wrong about that. There's a blend there. So you end up with scenarios where people just don't like what you're saying and decide it's wrong or hate speech, and they shut you down and shut you out. It's that simple. It's that simple. And if you're going to say that doesn't happen,
I'm not saying that don't happen.
Exactly.
But all I'm saying is we just have to. I don't have a problem with free speech. I just don't want it to get to where
me neither.
It's going to get crazy. That's
right.
All I'm saying.
And my only question is, who's setting that rule? Who's deciding what's crazy?
We don't know that. We know.
Who's deciding what's crazy? Exactly. See, and in fact, I brought you around, brother. You don't know. Exactly. No, that's why it's, we don't know.
You said it's the 1% that controls it.
And who are those?
We know who the 1% is. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say I know them by name.
Sure.
But we know that they're the most powerful people in the country of the world.
So free speech is a must. We must be able to say damn near anything and everything we want.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
You might even, should even be able to say some of those extreme violent stuff even. But we're really bad about how we react to things,
That's a fact.
Our leaders most of us, unfortunately, look to leadership. They don't necessarily, try to figure things out for themselves.
When you say leadership,
they see
like
politicians, government essentially. I don't want to say government specifically because we all have leaders in our individual communities,
right.
locally, abroad, whatever space you believe you're in. But we look to those leaders to drive those narratives and those conversations. So if those leaders are just simply saying, well, that's wrong, you just go, well, that's wrong, instead of trying to figure out if that's actually the case or not. You just agree with it. So we got to...
I know perception is everything.
Sure.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think if we get rid of all free speech rules and we confront things we don't like directly with non-hate speech or non-bad things, good will prevail. But we get crazy and scared, and we try to push people away, and we help write the other side's narrative about why, this absolute power is wrong and, they're crazy. And we play right into their hands when we do crazy shit like say, no, we got to shut that down because I don't like that. That's bad. That's bad. Now, granted, I get it. We can always talk about the violence, just the clearly violent stuff. And I already know I'm not the guy who's making the rules,
Right.
So I already know the violent stuff is on someone's list. It might not be on mine. It's on there, but it's like, let's talk about these real bad motherfuckers.
Because I'm gonna keep it a band. I mean, everybody doesn't like everybody.
Word.
So you're gonna have people express their concerns, and that's fine because that's been going on since time immemorial. You know what I'm saying? It's just the violent part aspect of it.
Right.
That's the only thing I care about. You can say what you want, you know what I'm saying? But when it leads to lives being taken, people being hurt, that's a problem. But you know, that's up to the people who's gonna run the ship
Mm-hmm.
and govern it and all that. To determine what's too
Right.
far and
Right.
go
When
from
I
there.
think of censorship, I think about the LAPD's secret profiling program they ran. It might even still be going on for years, where they identified troubled youths
Yeah,
and as going to be criminals and would harass these fucking kids, mostly black and brown, of course.
Inglewood, Compton, they were
Right,
in.
and almost build a record
Yeah,
for them,
right.
without them ever even having to
Not
fucking
even
do anything.
Nothing.
Never breaking, just as the economics, wrong neighborhood, school. Maybe one time he stole a candy bar when he was 6. Like, oh, we got him. This guy's gonna be, and they just push
You
you
in the system
into
for
that,
life.
right? And but it's just them controlling that fucking narrative, man. It's them.
Well, that's like that stop and frisk in New York, where they have the right to just stop
Right, just
anybody.
stop. Right, exactly. It's that,
But
just that
most of it
absolute
was
power,
happening in the black and
unchecked.
brown community.
Yeah,
You know?
with under the broken window policy of Mayor Bloomberg. In fact,
Yeah,
I mean, in fact, one of the
Bloomberg.
shining lights of the last election cycle was, in fact, that shout out to Benjamin Dixon. I don't know if you know, he was the brother who resurfaced this that particular clip though, of him talking about how he did not regret stop and frisk. And crime in the city was better for it. That shit sank him in the primaries or leading up to or before he even got to that particular part. So that was one great thing that came out of that. So, but yeah, same exact thing. Having that unruled, the unchecked power. Who makes the rules, man? Who makes the rules? Sometimes when I'm doing shit at work, I'd be like, who made this up? Who did this?
Yeah,
whose rule? Whose process?
Who came up with this process?
This shit's crazy.
I'll be finding little gaps and loopholes. Like, yo, what the who?
Right.
Y'all didn't think this out.
Someone's like, just put it in that box.
Yeah.
They'll struggle every time with it.
Yeah.
Just let them do the struggle.
They're not that sharp to go and pick that.
So yeah, brother Elon, he's bought Twitter.
44 billion.
Potentially some more. The reins will be removed on some forms or more of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Good or bad.
I mean, it is coming from a man who once called one of those rescue divers in Thailand a pedophile because he didn't want some dumbass machine that Elon was like, you should put this in the cave. He's like, you idiot, it's a cave. Don't bring big ass machines. You're dumb. And he called him a pedophile. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
So granted, Elon, but he should be able to, in my opinion, say that and then be immediately roasted for being an idiot and a loser for saying something so stupid and ignorant at a moment like that. You know what I mean? Like, just suffer the consequences socially, not, oh, let's just turn him off. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how I feel. It's like when, you're kicking it and there's just some asshole around and you just get to roasting them. You like, fuck it. No. You want to be an asshole? I'm going to light you up.
Yeah.
I'm going to light you up right now. Yeah, no mercy in front of everybody, okay?
Yeah.
That's how you're going to be out here in front of everybody acting like this. I will respond.
You can't be disrespecting people, my God.
Right.
Frustration.
Right. But I ain't going to ask them to leave. That might end an awesome moment of entertainment, all right? So.
For my investors, what this has done, real quick, because
God, with the stocks again.
I have to get into this.
With the damn stocks.
I have to get into
Go ahead, brother.
Because I own shares of Twitter.
Go ahead.
According to the bid totals out to like $54 and some change per share.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good thing.
Sure, yeah. It's like double what it's actually valued right now. It's damn near something like that, right? It's like 26 bucks.
It's like $40-something right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was less than that.
No, that's Snapchat. That was around that price. Because I bought into Twitter at like an average cost per share of like $42. So it's at like 46 or 48. It was over 50 at one point when it first got announced that he was going to buy Twitter. But it dropped like anything else, like it's going to do. But for my investors who have Twitter, I would say just ride this wave out until it's confirmed that he's actually going to buy Twitter, everything is approved and things of that nature. And then at that point, I will go ahead and reap the benefits of him paying you the $54 a share, because it's quite more than what it is right now. and go from there.
I mean, right, great for investors, terrible for the world.
Well,
Terrible for, you know, and it's weird. Twitter's a weird space because I think Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even Snapchat are all more popular than Twitter. Twitter only has like 20 some, 25 million users. Everyone else is like, 60, 70 plus. Well, Facebook got a billion, right? So they're blowing them out the water. So Twitter isn't even a very profitable company at that. So I mean, it's a terrible investment for Elon, generally speaking. But maybe potentially he'll sell more ads. I don't know, because ad companies, generally speaking, go with like safe platforms. They don't. Charmin doesn't advertise with a bunch of neo-Nazi sites. You know what I mean? For a very specific reason. So, so if you're scrolling on Twitter and you see some hate speech and then like, oh, Charmin got a new triple play? What? You'll know they've laxed their standards a bit, potentially, right?
I'm a Twitter user. And I see a lot of people on Twitter, especially for the shit that I follow.
Sure.
Battle rap, shit like that.
Right.
Athletes, whatever the case may be. So, I mean, it just depends on your preference, but I will agree that obviously Meta, Instagram, Snapchat is probably the one of the YouTube, the go-tos before some people will hop on Twitter.
I mean, Twitter is really more like, at least socially, as far as the things that are popular on there, more like elites, That's what's really popular. More money-minded type of, I don't even mean money-minded, just a more connected kind of community, it seems like. Twitter is much more of a tool than it is like a communication, thing versus like Facebook or Instagram. Like Twitter's kind of like rally the masses to get something trending in the news. Some topics trending in the news type shit.
And it was supposed to have been designed for you to be able to connect with your, let's say, favorite actor or celebrity, whoever that has a Twitter account, because you can at them. Not to say you can't do it on Facebook or nothing like that, but how many celebrities are going to respond to you on Facebook?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say they would respond to you on Twitter, but there are some that do respond to Twitter people. I know for a fact Kevin Durant, he's an NBA basketball player. Every time I look around, he's responding to people on Twitter because they're giving him a hard time and he's firing shots back. That's what he does. I mean, that's him. But I mean, I'm saying,
goddamn Twitter.
Twitter.
I'm about to be done with all my social medias, man. Once I figure out this outside videos, I'm done with I'm gonna kill the Snapchat and the Instagram, all of that, man. I just don't even want to do it no more. It's too much. It's messy.
It is.
I want to get back to the basics. I want to look a motherfucking eye before he stab me, man. All right. I don't want to hear him say it on Twitter and then show up on my doorstep unexpectedly. Okay.
I did at one point want to end all my social media too. It's just that for the shit that I'm involved in, I need it.
I understand.
Battle rap.
I understand.
Even for this, what I'm saying? It's like I need it because I have to be able to promote it and get it out to the masses or whatever the case may be, and whether you fuck with it, you fuck with it, if you don't, you don't. But that's pretty much the only reason. You know what I'm saying? Snapchat I do a little bit more, whatever the case may be. But like I don't, if it wasn't for what I was doing, I wouldn't have Facebook. I wouldn't have IG, none of that shit. Man. Being real.
I've been had to let go of Facebook, man. Shit.
Facebook.
That's terrible. You know why I let go of Facebook? Because like my whole family is on Facebook, and it's just like a weirdo space where everyone acts like our family's normal.
Yeah.
And it's not. Once I beat that thing, I was like, you know what? This shit's fake as hell. I'm out. I can't do this.
I still have Meta or Facebook, whatever you want to call it, but it's like I don't even scroll to look at nothing. You know what I'm saying? I post whatever I'm gonna post, battle rap or Squadcast TV related, and I'm out.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's it. Like that's it. Like I don't even tell people happy birthdays no more on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm done with all that shit, bro. Like it's just I'm cool. I don't want to engage in the fake reality world that they got on social media because Facebook, like social media will fuck people up to keep it tall. Like you go on, and I'm not saying me, but I just know I've had conversations with people like this. They go on these social media platforms and people will get a perception that everything's great, everything's hunky dory, and you know, and that causes like jealousy with certain people. Like, damn, how come I'm not like that? How come I don't have this type of relationship? How come I'm not going to places, traveling, or whatever the case may be? And now all of a sudden, a person who just could be living that life, or maybe ain't living that life. Now you just got somebody that's got resentment towards you because they think this shit's all real. And social media is fake as hell.
It's fake as hell.
It's super fake.
Ain't nothing real about it.
No.
Last post I made on my Instagram was me
For likes? Are you
catching
shitting me?
a fish, big old fish, you know?
Yeah.
Man, it must have been another 10 days after that before I caught another fish, you know. But you'd have thought, ain't goddamn fisherman just looking at the phone, you know. You can't even be honest without some implied fakeness, you know. If you look too deep, you can read way too much, man. It's just ridiculous.
I remember I made a post on Facebook one time, and it led to a full-blown argument between two women. And I'm not gonna say their names and nothing like that. I mean, I probably should. 'Cause they don't watch the show, but whatever. And we went to school with them, by the way. But I just made a post like it was like August Alsina was coming here to do a show. You know, the ladies love him, whatever the case may be. And I said something like, y'all ain't bought y'all kids no school clothes, no school supplies, but y'all bought them damn tickets to go see August Alsina. And one girl's like, yup, I know a bald-headed hoe who just said something. And the one she knew who she was getting talked about came right back in, and it was going at it. And then it was just like, you know, one of them was like, well, I didn't mean to do this on your post, DJ, I'm sorry. And I'm just like,
messy, man.
Had to take it down, man. I mean, I was acting a fool by posting that, you know what I'm saying? I was just letting my thoughts out, but I didn't know that was going to happen.
Right,
I mean,
right. See, none of us need to be on there.
Yeah.
You know, and like we mentioned, your boy, the guy you did phone campaigns for, Trump.
Oh,
that was weird. When you called me like, hey, brother, I figured I'd call you first for donations, and I had to reiterate that.
When you go see the censorship over his face.
It's going to be just a Trump image over me this whole episode. But this motherfucker, you know, potentially will be running for office again.
Yeah.
Honestly, best case scenario, this motherfucker's just milking it for what it's worth and will not. You know, that's just, if he could just get his money and go like the drifter or grifter he is, that would be great. But odds are, nah, he just can't resist the urge, and he's gonna run to be in office again.
Yeah, so he's a maniac.
Now we got this goddamn fool McCarthy. Yeah. Kevin McCarthy, is that his name?
Yeah, Kevin. I call him Mike.
Okay.
But he's Kevin.
Kevin McCarthy.
This asshole.
This douchebag. I mean, caught on tape talking about, no, I'm finna tell Trump. He gotta quit this. He gotta resign. He gotta step down.
He said he gotta quit this shit.
Right. Even though when he's asked about it, talking about, nah, I never said that. Why?
As the recording is playing in the background.
What he kept saying was, I never told Trump to step down. Even though the question is, you told Liz Cheney you was finna step down, that you were gonna tell Trump to step down, you know, and he's like, nah, I never told Trump to step down. Like, no, that's not what we're asking you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So do the old classic political dance around game there, you know. So
buck dancing is what black folk call when they get on TV.
I mean, but and not only him, Mitch McConnell, this motherfucker, same thing. Like the day or two after, you know, or maybe this was like 6 days or so after the insurrection. The attempted insurrection that this fool talking about, we're done with Trump, we can't do this. And then what, you know, 3 or 4 weeks later, he's talking about Trump's the president, what you want me to do? You know, I mean, no matter what, you can see how they know it's wrong.
Kiss the ring.
Right. How they know things are wrong, and they are looking for small little attempts to hop out and finally, you know, end it all, but they're so weak and futile that it'll never go down like that for Trump.
Well,
but in the second that the thought of them getting any type of retribution from Trump or his fucking fan base, these fucking cowards, man.
Well,
these cowards lie, scream, and squirm and do everything.
Here's the problem, though. The Republican Party, GOP, wherever you want to call them. Who else could you put up there as a potential presidential candidate?
Right, Trump continues to be the most popular.
That's what I'm saying. Like
person of the party. He is to this day still the leader of the Republican Party.
Fan base, as far as like the United States regular Joe Schmo, like he got a lot of political people,
right,
that fuck with him.
And Joe Biden has the lowest rating, like 32% approval. What the fuck, Joe? Just send the money. Where's the damn check, Joe?
Out, Joe? That's when you was rocking. That's when we loved you.
Right, man.
Stimmies out. We need you.
Now I know we were talking about student loans. I heard Jen Psaki get asked about, is he going to do something about student loans? And she would only say, actually, what had happened is that she was asked if she would look, or asked about Biden saying he would forgive potentially up to $10,000 on student loan debt,
right.
Maybe even more. And she would only say that is a potential, but nothing's in the bag.
Yeah.
And then a question got asked that I had never thought of myself per se, at least not fully. Is that what do you do about the people who have already paid off their student loans? My wife actually has paid off her student loans, but in this particular scenario, they were talking about the people who didn't take out loans, the people who just saved and sacrificed it, whether it be their family or them themselves,
right.
to get money set aside and for their kid to go to school. And, I hadn't really thought about that, so they never took out a loan and they've paid for school up front and, they're good to go essentially at that particular. Now, the only response that I've seen that makes some sort of sense is that even in a scenario like that, those people would have been way better set up to succeed later on in life, not straddled with the debt. So paying off for your college up front is usually cheaper. Number one, obviously, you don't have the interest rates, right? You don't have none of that. So you pay for it up front, you don't have the interest rates. But also, after you graduate, you're not straddled with the burden of paying down the debt while also trying to, advance through life, right? Exactly. So even though, they made all the sacrifices up front and paid off school, the residual benefit is going to be tenfold of even if you, tenfold of people who paid off their student loans. They just have that bigger advantage out the gate, for themselves. So,
well, can I? Well, it doesn't equal out. I was going to say it doesn't kind of equal out, but it doesn't because, like you just said, the people who saved up, whatever the case may be, I'm pretty sure they struggled to make that shit happen. Right. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And not everyone. And actually, another point about that you say that is that most people who save for college don't just have like a, put it in a mattress or just have just some general savings account. They just save $100,000 for their kid. Most people who actually can save money do so via special savings accounts that are actually subsidized by the government. So they, match or get special interest rates, that type of stuff. So even though they are putting up a lot of money up front, they are getting a lot of additional help with money up front. So the end result is actually almost the same, where if people who took out loans or can't pay them, if the government comes behind and pays off, to up to $10,000 of it, that is essentially the same effect. You'd be subsidizing these loans, forgiving a reasonable amount, and then helping out, others to lower theirs dramatically.
Uncle Joe talked about student loans briefly today, while he was giving his presser, about a lot of stuff, mostly the war in Ukraine, but a lot of stuff. And I don't know where this figure came from, but somebody at some establishment or wherever the case may be, I guess had said that it was speculated that he was going to dismiss up to like $50K in student loans. So Uncle Joe said that, no, I'm not thinking about that. That's not going to happen. $50K. I am thinking about some student loan forgiveness, but he never specified an amount, which was kind of shocking to me. And kind of makes me nervous a little bit too, because I know that's something that he campaigned on.
I was literally about to say that.
Until his way into the election.
Yeah. And he could just executive order to make it happen.
Yeah.
And he won't do it. He's demands that Congress brings him a fucking bill, and they're not. It's the most dysfunctional fucking government ever. They're not going to bring him a bill.
And then I had an economist, because they brought on an economist on one of the fake news networks that publicize the shit. Mm-hmm. And the economist said that Americans, well, not Americans. He said that Congress or the government will probably feel better about forgiving people's auto loans opposed to student loans.
What the fuck?
I don't even know how that fucking makes sense. But that's what he said.
That doesn't even make no sense.
And I was like...
I mean, if that's the case, just give everybody a free fucking car every 5 years. I mean, I don't know. Everybody get a little Honda or something. I mean, I don't know. Free Ford Fiestas every year.
Look, am I for student loan forgiveness? Yes, I am. People are struggling.
I'm just disgusted with this idea that, like, to learn more, to not only to get an education, but the idea that you would take that and then use it in your community for you to be successful and build and grow and have some sort of residual benefit for everyone.
Let's keep it real. College
it's a cost. It's ridiculous.
College is one of the biggest scams in history, and I'm not trying to say like.
Information and good learning's good learning, but $100,000
some words though. But I'm looking at it. I'm just saying it's a scam because you got all these colleges. I'm just throw Division I colleges out there, right? You know, the Dukes, the North Carolinas, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio State. You know, the Division ones. If you're not living in that state, you know, out of state tuition is crazy. Like some of these people want $40,000, $50,000 a year.
It don't even make any sense, man.
So you got people wanting $200K for your child to supposedly get this education to be successful, and you coming out with $200,000 worth of debt. How the hell are you supposed to be successful?
Right. I mean, and not to mention, you know.
And then when you graduate, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get that exact job that you went to school for and make this said money that, you know, is.
Or maybe you go to school and you realize you don't even like what the fuck you're learning. You get out of school and we're like, I don't want to do this. I know someone, actually, my wife went to school. She's got a couple degrees, but her first one was psychology. And she got out and she wanted to be a social worker, but it was just emotionally and just a high stress environment that she did not like the work itself. It was just too much for her to handle. But nonetheless, she's got however much debt she had to take out in order to get that degree. Now, I mean, you can argue, you know, people make bad decisions and you got to pay in some way.
Yeah.
But if we already know that you're not an adult just because you're 18, how the hell do we give someone $40,000 to go to school and expect them to pay it back as an adult? You know what I mean? Like, how do we trick a kid?
You're handicapped.
And it's taking simple as that. You're handicapped as fuck, and everyone around you telling you you must go to school. This is great. This is how you succeed.
Exactly.
You get there. You go to school. You don't like what your degree is afterwards. You know, so that was a waste of time and money. Or even worse, you get to school and you're not good at school.
And you don't graduate.
You
waste your time, your money, you know.
Trying to do shit that everybody else said was a good idea because you're a kid and you couldn't possibly say, as a man now, as an adult, this is a clear, bona fide, great decision that I can handle. Show me the money. Right? It's ridiculous.
I know when I was in college, I changed my major 2 or 3 times.
Bro, I changed mine after first semester. Like, it wasn't no jokes. Second year, 3 days, I don't want to do this either. I don't like this.
It was different for me.
It's great. I took out these fucking loans.
But I went to school initially to be a physical therapist, right? So I get signed up for the classes. I'm like, nah, I don't want to take all these science classes, anatomy classes, and shit like that. I'm like, no, I'm cool.
Right. This isn't what I thought it was.
Exactly. Then I went from that to business administration. Okay, it was cool, but it really just wasn't fitting me for what I wanted to do. So I ended up going the technology way. I got my associate's and bachelor's degree in computer science, MIS, management information systems. But I'm not using it. I'm the perfect example of a person who went to school. I got multiple degrees in a specified entity, and I'm not even using my degree. I work for a financial company. Not in the tech
and my
industry.
job has clearly listed that they want, 2-year degree in field, or however many years of experience, and that's it's upsetting that I took out $7,000 and still built up the 10 years of experience that I needed. I didn't need to take out. I could have not had $7,000 worth of debt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Straddling my dumb 18-year-old ass down. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, I grew up poor as fuck, bro. Poor as fuck. Give me, with classes paid, I got like $2,000-3,000 in my account. I didn't know what. This is more money I ever seen in my life.
That refund when they
bro, come on. At one time, just to come on, bro. What was I gonna do with that?
See,
what was I gonna do with that? Invest that?
But that was, I mean, you could.
What was I gonna do? Support myself while I'm going to school.
That's what I had to do.
I mean, why is 18 and graduated different from 17 and not? What about 18 and graduated says now I can pay bills and navigate social issues, work a responsible job? I mean, some of these things, sure.
Well, I don't think the legal age of 18 should be considered an adult.
Right. I mean,
I don't think so.
Kids are covered on insurance until like 26 if they're in college, aren't they?
Exactly. So I think, once you hit 21, okay.
I want to go to 25. You run some of these idiots. You know how dumb I was at 21?
Well, I'm just saying, but 21,
I could just turn up legally.
You're a lot more wiser than 18.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll give you that. That 2-3 years is a difference. I will give you that. It ain't that much, but it is a difference.
I give you 25.
Yeah. I mean, at least you can't buy cigarettes anymore until you're 21.
Yeah,
right?
That's crazy.
Right? Yeah, right. I mean, so they recognize that, but then you can take out a $40,000, $100,000. Or join the army and go kill people professionally.
If you make it, and then when you come back, you're going to be all mentally fucked up.
It's all backwards.
We'll pay for your education.
Shit's all backwards. Colleges should be free. And you should have to be, right. And you shouldn't be considered adults until you're 25. And you can't go to war unless you're 25 and have a college degree.
You can't go to war?
Right. You can't be a soldier unless you're 25 and have a college degree. Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Simple as now, if you want to wait, you have to take some sort of entrance exam. If you don't have a college degree, you definitely gonna have to take a hell of an entrance exam.
Wait a minute. Hold on, my guy.
You want nothing but smart, mature soldiers. That's a whole nother comment.
Yeah, this is a whole nother debate.
Shout out to all you dumb grunts out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I'm trying to finish somebody.
But this is good. This is good. I like this one.
Yeah, bro.
Going on.
I know you'll be voting for Trump coming up here if he runs, so I'm a little disappointed in advance. I just want to get that out the way. It is what it is. Black man voting for Trump, that's a thing, y'all. That's a thing.
Don't Ben Carson me.
In fact, like he gained more black people voting for him last time around than any other Republican ever has, I believe. So, that should scare every Democrat into doing the right thing. Shouldn't it? Shouldn't it?
You would think.
You would think, like, oh no, the black dude's going over there? Going over there?
That goes back to the conversation that we had a while ago where I said that, each party kind to appeal to a certain group. And for the longest, the Democrats was supposed to be appealing to the black community, black and brown community. That's the area of focus that they target on because they actually realize how powerful our vote really is, even though they try to take away a lot of black and brown voting rights. But I can't say that either one of them is good. I don't declare myself as a Republican or Democrat or independent.
Right.
I'm just gonna vote for.
These guys are all scumbags.
I mean, they're all scumbags. At the end of the day, when you get into politics, whatever good intentions you had, that shit is out the window.
Man,
that shit is gone.
I had a politician I thought was really great, but I got some. That's a whole nother conversation. No. Blacks, Boo, you talking about? Nah, not K Reynolds. Nah.
We'll get into that another
No,
time.
it's another one. Yeah, it's another one. So,
sounds like some heavy shit. So
right, it is, brother. I almost teared up. I ain't even gonna lie. I thought we had a fighter, but fucking politics, man.
Fucking politics.
So yeah,
moral of today, Elon's buying Twitter. Freedom of speech. We gotta have it.
Say what you want to say, but stay off Twitter. There's nothing good happens there.
On all social media. But subscribe to our channel. Though,
right.
And watch our shit.
Good stuff happens here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Junkyard Gang, and whether it's Dab Outdoors, or the Fat Boy Chef channel, one way or the other.
Shout out Midwest Matthew too. Make sure y'all check out his movie and everything he got going on.
Right.
Shout out to
actually check out Midwest Matthew's Instagram page. Is the director? Is it the director Midwest Matthew?
Yeah, I think that's it. But I'm
check it up real quick, man, because actually it's kind of next level compared to his personal account. I think he's got a lot more of his work on it. I think
directed by Midwest.
Yeah, at Instagram.
If you guys go to that page, I mean, you'll see a lot of quality work. That brother's a jack of all trades.
So, yeah. This has been Squadcast TV. We'll catch y'all on the flip.
Freedom of speech.
Word.